Great question. Number one thing to keep in mind here is that these are completely different tools. Yes, they both involve breathing. That's about where the similarities stop. Oxygen Advantage is where I would start if you're new to either or both of these. The Oxygen Advantage explains why we need to breathe, how it impacts our physiology, and everything else downstream from there. If you don't want to read the whole book, it's all about breathing through your nose, not your mouth, and breathing less frequently than most people do now. So breathe less, breathe through your nose, but go read the book, there's more there. Wim Hof is a tool that we can use for specific applications. If you need to get amped up or to activate your body or to energize yourself, it is a tool that we can use in those instances. So understanding, one is sort of how you should breathe all the time. The other is a tool for specific applications. Both are good. First of all, I follow intermittent fasting, so my answer is going to be biased to the pro intermittent fasting side of the conversation. We always have to take goal and context into consideration. If somebody that I'm working with likes it or does it already and it fits their goals, then we stick with it. If not, then it's not something that I force on people. So the number one question to keep in mind for you is always goal and context. Does this work for me? Now, there's tons of science and research to back up the efficacy of intermittent fasting. I think as humans, we've never had opportunities to eat food 24/7 the way that we do now, so I think it fits our biology. It's also important to note that eating puts us into a parasympathetic state, rest and digest, which can be counter to being productive during the day. Maybe consider not eating, not having to divert blood flow and resources to digestion during the day where you want to be most active and alert. And the first thing that I would say is to remember, this is social media. You don't see me 24/7. Just like every other human on this planet, I struggle with positivity and happiness, and it's part of that struggle, part of that human experience that led me to explore some of the things that I have explored and now teach, and that is wanting to understand the human operating system. And through that understanding, it has brought me awareness, and the awareness, as I always say, creates choice. So two things that have helped me tremendously are gratitude and perspective. Having the perspective to say, hey, things could be much worse, right? At the end of your day, do an exercise called best thing, worst thing. What was the best thing that happened to you every day? And then what was the worst thing that happened to you? You'll quickly realize that the worst thing that happened to you really wasn't that bad. So perspective, a gratitude practice every single day. It's a struggle for me and everybody else. So look for the little things, perspective and gratitude.